what we're trying to accomplish today, and I'm going to start with something, is kind of talk a little bit about this new trend, and some other folks are going to follow up and kind of showcase what they're doing, come up with some methodologies and ideas of how customer success is being implemented today. So what I'm going to talk about is what I call the pro customer company, and I want to start with a story. So 2 days ago, I was trying to sign up a couple more licenses to people from my team at a digital signature, electronic digital signature service. We grew the team, and we had to buy some more licenses, and I was trying to do that. And it didn't work. It could be my fault or the software fault, and it happens. And while I was doing that and was kind of becoming a little bit frustrated, 5 minutes later, I got a call from a guy from this company telling me, "Hey, I've been watching that you are trying to set some more signees into the service. I see that it doesn't work for you. Can I help?" He helped me out. He also asked me why am I doing that? He figured out that we were growing, and he moved me into a different edition of the service, which is more appropriate to what I have to do. And I ended up spending more money with this company, and it was very happy customer. Nice story, right? So so this could have happened, but unfortunately, what really happened was I was unable to configure that, and open support cases, and we were thinking of switching to something else because we were unable to configure it. And this is kind of basically what I'm kind of going to talk a little bit more about. So Rihanna mentioned that it's obvious that the software business is changing, right? It's not what it used to be. SaaS, cloud, pay-as-you-go, subscription, renewals, all those things are different than what it used to be. And I don't think we're the only one that recognize that. There are many people in the industry, some of them are very important, that recognize this change as well. So if you haven't read the book Outside In by the Forrester researchers, I encourage you all to read that. It's a great book talking about what they call the age of the customer. Jeffrey Moore has been speaking for the past few years about engagement systems versus systems of record. And 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you've heard, but Mark Benioff from Salesforce coined a new term, the customer company. He had an event in New York, and I guess he was testing the water towards the Dreamforce event that is coming in October. And this is all just backing up what we all feel, and I guess the reason that this conference is fully booked and sold out 10 days before, and we kind of, in the morning, we added some more chairs just to make sure that the last minute people can come in. Obviously, there's change, and this change is happening. And I think that the right terminology for this change is that businesses are trying, or software businesses are trying to become pro-customer companies. I think customer company is a little bit doesn't say anything. I think pro-customer company has very clear characteristics. And in my mind, pro-customer company has three defining characteristics. One, it's putting customers in the center. It's businesses who feel that their goal in life is to make sure that customers see value, that customers are there for life, that customers are orchestrated around, and everything that the business does is to make sure customers are successful first, and then good things happen. Second thing about pro-customer company is proactively pursuing that, proactively addressing customer needs, proactively anticipating customer growth and requirements and so forth. It's not just about making a statement that we want to support our customers. It's how do we proactively go up and about and support proactively our customers to make sure that they're successful. And the third thing, which I guess we'll cover more today, this becomes a new profession. Being a pro-customer company, it has methodologies, has best practices, has concepts. Like being a professional salesperson, don't just come out of the street and you're a good salesperson. You may have the talent, but you have to learn some stuff. You need to be experienced, and then you become professional. Same thing about becoming pro-customer company. So kind of pro-value, pro-activity, and and professionally. I like to, let's look at some kind of good initial examples in the market of companies who've put customers first. The first one I want to mention, obviously, Salesforce, one of the first SaaS and more successful SaaS companies. And the reason I mention them is they have an organization called Customer for Life. They've taken customer success to the next level. As a mission statement of an organization who has marketing, sales, and all the functions, their role is to make sure customers are for life, meaning that they are investing in the long-term success of the customer and believe that something good is going to happen. Another company that we've been working for quite a while, and Sam is here, is going to talk a little bit more about in depth. But what I like about the message is that Zendesk has is that they're saying, first thing you need to do is take care of your customers. Good things will follow. Meaning that everything, as an organizational concept, is about making sure customers are happy, they have what they're looking for, success is going to follow, and we see the result. And another very nice example in our market is, I don't know if you know that, but Workday CEO is also the chief customer advocate, which kind of makes it really clear that this company is all about making sure that their customers are successful. So these are kind of few examples. There are more, and I'm sure that some of the companies here in the audience are also pro-customer companies, but I thought it's interesting to kind of give some example. Another set of examples are companies who are really good at being proactive with their customers. We've recently ran a survey on several companies of their free trial experience, specifically not the customers of Totango. And one of the things that we really liked is the experience that evaluator of New Relic gets, where it looks like automatically they anticipate the next step and communicate in the right way and make sure that it feels like they get you and they drive you and they do that without you needing to go back. I think a lot has been said about Dropbox and how nice is their product and experience and so forth. But one of the things that we found extremely interesting and nice about Dropbox is that also it has this kind of magical feel that they kind of communicate with you at the right time, at the right moment, with the right message. These are kind of magic behaviors that proactive customers have. And another call out I would like to make is a company that I really like and we've been working with for a while. And the story that I heard from their customer success team is that they take the opportunity to identify points in the customer lifecycle where they have challenges, where there's risks in the project. And they get in before customer is frustrated, and they offer their support, and they get customer for life. And these are some of the examples. But obviously, this is not, these are very good examples, but this is not the common case in the industry. Should be, but it's not there yet. We ran a survey just before the conference, and we wanted to kind of understand the status of the industry, of the pro-customer company status, and we looked at 3 different angles. How much of the companies are organized around customer centricity? This was the first thing. The second thing is, do they have the right information and tools and technologies to support kind of customer centricity processes? And the third thing was around, do they know how? Do they have best practices? Do they have kind of the key things to support? And I guess in our market, and we actually, the people who answered our survey are the early adopters, because they are people who kind of communicate with our company. And so we've noticed that it's around 60% of companies who have chief customer officers, customer success teams, all very young and new, but they have it. However, when we compared it to the software industry, this is a fraction of what we see. Out of 200,000 companies within LinkedIn, 0.1% has those roles in them. Meaning that we're at the beginning of something. It's not like it's very mature yet, but it's coming up. The second thing that we've looked at is if you want to become pro-customer company, do the people have the information to support customers? And even if in our market it was clear that there's a lot of information that is not available for the customer facing teams. Could be around, our customers are happy. Do they use the software? Is it how much of the software do they use? How many people and so forth? All those things are really missing. Only a third of the customers have the information that they need. And the third thing, and this is, I guess, the main reason for this conference, there's no playbook. And the playbook is so much missing that everyone that we talk to keeps telling us, can you put us in touch with our peer group so we can compare notes and see whether or not it works or not. And this is kind of the status of our industry right now. And this is the motivation to start and having those discussions to create the knowledge and the profession around pro-customer company. So what are the key tenets of pro-customer company that companies needs to really be good at? So the first thing is organize around pro-customer value. These are the mission statement, but more it's about the incentives, about the structure, about the chief customer officer, the customer success manager. I know that Michael is going to talk a little bit more about that later on, but definitely being able to have the customer-facing team front and center is important. The second thing, information, technology, all things that we deal with and other companies that are presenting here as well deal with, is making sure that the context of the customer is available at the right time so you can act when needed. Like the example that I gave before, if the information of the digital signature company had been in front of someone who cared about me, who could have called me and helped me out. But I assume it's not that they didn't want to, they couldn't do that because not necessarily they had the information at the right time. And the third thing is the how. How it's a little bit, it's a system. How do we make sure that sales, marketing, customer success, product, finance, all those groups are orchestrated in a way that promotes pro-customer activity? I think the reason I'm emphasizing and I'm trying to structure it is because when I heard Benioff's presentation about customer company, it was a bunch of high-level messages of big data, mobile, social, security, everything is there, but how do you take all the pieces of the puzzle and put them in a place that eventually the outcome is that company is really focused on customer success? So I think we're not, and this kind of gives me into the last end of my presentation. I think we're not far away from a time where every customer is gonna expect to have the experience of that he feels that he's front and center. I recently had a meeting with a friend from a very big enterprise software company, one of the biggest ones, and she told me that their biggest customers don't want to buy any more professional services. They don't want to buy consulting services. They want to buy solution and best practices with the software. So what they want to buy success. And they don't expect to buy software separately, professional services separately, consulting separately, and integrate all that together that maybe success will follow. They want to buy success, and they want a vendor to ensure that they're successful. All of us being in the SaaS space, it's clear, right? This is what we sell. But this is also happening in a very large magnitude at other industries. So I think we're not far away from there. I think we're not far away from a time where the common expectation is that when I need my vendor to support me, they will support me without me needing to call them first. With being able to identify, and I think when we talk about customer success, and we've been talking with people we were talking with in the past 2 years, what is customer success? Is it the right implementation of software? Not necessarily. It's being able to be successful in the business objectives that I have. So if I'm buying a marketing software, I want to have more leads. I don't want to run campaigns. I don't want to, score leads. I want to get more qualified leads for my sales team. This is how I want to look at the problem, and this is what I expect my marketing vendor to provide me with. That's the success, and this is the expectation of the market, and this is the expectation from us as a vendor to support these objectives. So we understand what customers are trying to accomplish and help them get there. And I think we're really not that far away from a time that chief customer officers, customer success manager, and all the kind of the working ideas behind that are fully documented, implemented, and kind of shared across the industry. This is obviously going to be the norm and not the special case. And I think, I assume that no one in this audience needs to look at the hard numbers. Why is that important? But I thought that, if people ask you to share later on, why you should do that, I think we've aggregated some data that we had and some data that we gathered from analysts, and bottom line, every parameter of the business, renewals, churn, sales, all of that much higher when you are a pro customer company versus not. So also if we add some dollar values into there, depending on your revenue streams and so forth, you'll be able to do the math for yourself. So just to kind of summarize, pro customer company, in my mind, it's those three things that we were talking about. It's putting customers center. It's pro value, pro success, making sure customers are the center of the universe as a company. It's being able to proactively anticipate customer needs and act upon them, and doing that in a way that this is not a one-off. It's not a hero mentality. This is how businesses should have their operating model be oriented around, and it's a profession. And with that, I just want to leave you with one last thing. I know that this conference is the beginning. I don't think it's anywhere. It's a highlight of kind of having many people on this concept around, but we want to have this dialogue and this conversation going on. So we kind of last moment created Totango.com/pro customer company where people can sign in, and we will make sure that we will continue this discussion moving forward with our partners and with you guys, and we'll have some more to share around best practices, professional ideas, and so forth. So that's my pitch for today. I'm gonna move into a hosting position from now on. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them.
So in terms of the customer success playbook, how close do you think we are to having the best practices fleshed out, or do you think we'll see a lot of innovation in the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. So I think we're close, and I think we're closer than that. I think we'll hear later today some ideas around that. I know that Ken is going to talk about the customer journey, and other folks are going to talk about some other concept. I think as a kind of formalized model, this is going to take some time, but best practices, what works and what not. I don't know if you guys are part of the discussion on the various LinkedIn groups around customer success, but there is very interesting discussion going on there around what's best practices, experiences. It all sounds there very early. People are asking some very basic questions. I think we could do more and much more today, but I think this is coming, and it's coming up very fast, and it's happening.